game. It's incredible.
Oh, it's unbelievable, yeah. So I think today is the final. For yourself, Gavin, I wanted to like really thank you for joining. You and I know each other now for a little while, and maybe for those that aren't on the lines, it'd be great to get a little bit of a background, Gavin, on you yourself and the company. But what this really is, as I maybe mentioned during the week, Gavin, it's just a break in the day. For a lot of the people that are online now, or indeed sort of listening in on different forums, really just a break in the day, end of the week for those that are, working on the end of the month, obviously end of quarter, it's all coming up now as well. And it'd be great to get any questions that are top of mind. But Gavin, you're an incredible entrepreneur, have done an amazing job in Funnovation. For those that I'm going to touch on some of those things, definitely, on the security side, some things like SIM swapping and your insight there, and even just running a company. But it would be great to, maybe for anyone that doesn't know you and the company, Gavin, like what's the story?
Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, great to be here. And Friday afternoon, I was explaining to JP at the start, guys, that I've just finished a board meeting. So the Friday feeling is starting to slowly ease back into my bones. I've decided no more board meetings on a Friday after today. And again, going from the sun to the snow, it's just classic Irish weather. It's brilliant. Love it. So our business has a couple of different facets, but essentially we're a communications company, a mass communications company. Our tagline is your service securely delivered. So whether it's email or messaging or push notifications or SMS or whatever else it might be, or the fintech offering that we have, which is called SIM takeover protection. Those elements basically all happen from here in Dún Laoghaire, at least originally. And the business was founded here in 1988, so it's a 33-year-old business, and has grown and morphed and evolved over the years. This time last year, we 20 people. We've 32 at the moment. The office is an old Georgian house and would probably fit 20 with comfort, 22 with comfort. We've really blossomed over the last 12 months. And just from demand and looking after customers properly and learning about ourselves and learning what we can do differently has really just kept people coming into the business. It's been cool.
Yeah, one thing that definitely I've seen from a distance, and I know you've mentioned it as well, is like that whole innovation piece, Gavin. So if you think about it, like people on the call now, running business, focused on solving problems, but it's easy to continue to do that. But how you're innovating and how you as a company are, like any highlights there, Gavin? Like what's the main driver around pivoting all the time and making sure you're doing things better?
Okay, so I go to some of these calls as well, and I always like to take something away. I don't really want to, it's kind of nice hearing what other people are doing, but we did this lean program about 4 years ago, and we basically learned about continuous improvement. So we're not looking for perfection ever. We're just looking to do things a little bit better than we did them yesterday. That's the goal. And 2 weeks ago, we worked with a crowd in innovation, and they gave us this model. And it's another evolutionary step. It's another improvement. And basically, we did a whole company workshop for the day. We came up with 128 improvements or innovations. And then we categorized them by, is it a new market or a new product? And anything that was new, we've put on the sideline, because that's like, selling grapes in Australia. Well, we don't work in Australia and we don't know an awful lot about grapes, but it's still a cool idea. But we don't know a lot about it. Anything that's existing, we're not going to do, because that's just like a tweak on an existing product. So that went into the product team. But anything that's new, a new market and existing product, or existing market and a new product, we pulled in, worked it down to 10, and of the 10, picked one, and it started on Monday. So last Monday, we started building a new product, a beta type of a new product that we didn't have in our heads 3 weeks ago. And we have a short list of 9 that everybody loves. We just have one that we like more than all the rest. I just think that's incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we need help with all this stuff. Like, so we needed the guy to come in. We need the guy to come in, and I can post it later on, the details.
Yeah,
but he came in and said, "Okay, this is what we're going to do." And he spent the whole day with the whole company. So the new product we're coming up with is a smishing tool. So basically, you know, smishing is a type of fraud. Hey, JP, you've left something at the airport. Contact us now and we'll ship it out to you. But of course, it's €11 to have it shipped to you, and you didn't leave anything at the airport. So it's a smishing tool. And Tim from our sales department came up with the idea. So, you know, and then you get to go back to Tim and say, "Tim, we're running with your idea and your product lead." And he's like, "Whoa, that was just an idea. I don't want to." But now Tim gets to do that, walk it through, and if it becomes a product, he becomes a big part of it. And there's 9 other shortlisted products, and that's just like one day's effort.
Yeah. You know, Gavin, and by the way, anyone that's on the line has any questions, you can post them in the chat or jump in. It'd be great to hear. So one thing that we've seen, Jimmy, you've seen a lot of this too, when you think about mobile threats, Gavin, and we hear about SIM swapping attacks. And I think this month, T-Mobile disclosed some sort of data breach caused by SIM swapping, and it feels like I'm hearing more and more about it, Gavin. You know, I know you guys are in that space, and it might be early for maybe the you know, SME businesses, but can you tell us a little bit more about both the problem and then again what end of the problem you guys focus on in terms of solving it?
Yeah, I'll give you a 90-second version. In 2010, if I wanted to get JP's bank details, I would put some kind of code onto his screen, and when he typed into his bank, I'd have access to his password, and that was enough to get into JP's bank. So,
hey, by the way, you wouldn't be looking at much. You wouldn't be looking at much. Whatever's there, there's a lady out there, my wife. She makes sure that's, you know, that it doesn't rest there long.
I've something for everybody. Anybody who ever says that to you has buckets of it. They just have 2 accounts. Yeah, only people with loads of money.
So getting back to your question
no
again, new patient confirmations were still not syncing. So the problem I had was the.
That's Alvik's gone on mute. So bit of a GDPR issue there and patient information as well.
We got it before any names, email. We got it before. We're good.
Moving swiftly on, David. Moving swiftly on.
So back to my 90 seconds, JP, which starts from now, by the way, because you helped.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So 10 years ago, that's all I had to do. And then the banks brought out 2-factor authentication. And what it meant was they weren't just going to send you something on the website. They were going to go around and knock on your door and hand you something and say, "Here's your password for the website that you're on to make sure it's you." But of course, they don't knock on your door. They were sending SMS messages. And then the fraudster knew that in order to use the data that he had from screening your bank account, he also needed access to your mobile phone. And that's where SIM hijacking, SIM swapping comes into play. Because your mobile SIM is unique. Your mobile number isn't, but your SIM is unique on the mobile, on the global, mobile network. So that's when SIM swapping came into play. It was invented in Ireland 2012, patented in the States, patented across Europe and most of the current open banking countries, and adopted by Bank of Ireland first in 2013, 2014. And all the other banks in Ireland really since then, all the 4 pillar banks in Ireland. 90% of the banks in the US use it, 90% of the banks in the UK use it, 90% of the banks in Ireland use it. What's really interesting about it is it's been rolled out by the operators right across Europe. So Spain and Germany first, and France, and all these countries are basically rolling the service out now so that they can protect SIMs. And we're talking to a Spanish bank at the moment, and we said, "You can use this." And they said, "No, we're going to use this other thing." And it was actually something with a code reader, and they gave you a random code, something from 2012. So they're actually using, in Europe, they're using 2012 tech because they don't know that mobile validation authentication is coming. And in a year, that'll all have changed, and they'll all be using it. So it's a really powerful place to be.
Wow.
It's an interesting place to be. It's an interesting industry to be in.
Yeah.
I can, you know, I had a personal experience where something like this, something similar happened to me. It was very frightening. I was an attacker had actually called my phone company a couple years ago, and changed the phone on the, pretended to be me, and then changed the phone on the account to their phone, reset my email password, and then reset my Coinbase Bitcoin account password, and then tried to buy a couple $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. And this was all happening while I was on an overnight flight from New York to London. And then I landed and realized my phone didn't work, and then, you know, acted fast. And I actually figured it out before Verizon figured it out, or before anyone else figured it out. So thankfully, you know, I was able to stop it before anything bad happened, but it was frightening. The funny thing is, I actually stopped the, you know, filed the Bitcoin purchase as fraud that, you know, that they tried to buy. And, you know, had I not done that and just kept it in my account, I think I would have I would have made a couple $1,000s here.
Yeah.
A nice penny.
And that's the upside of mobile SIM swapping, where the fraudster makes you money. But they're the rare ones, James. And James, I would suggest that the person that SIM swapped your phone knew that you were on a flight.
Yeah.
Because
Terrifying.
as soon as somebody SIM swaps your phone stops working and theirs starts taking. So all the messages that Jared is going to send to that person, they go to the fraudster. Your messages from your wife go to the fraudster. Messages from everybody you know are going to the fraudster. So it's incredibly simple to do. I could do it to anybody on the phone at the moment. I could do it in a country where they don't protect it. Because mobile operators are designed, SIMs are designed to be swapped in easily. Jared can go into a shop and say, hey, that's a cool phone. I'd like to buy that, please. And they'd say, cool. What SIM size do you have at the moment? They have this one. They'll say, you need a different one for this phone. It's smaller. So we'll just put that new one in. What's your name? And do you have any proof of address? You don't. What's your favorite color? Blue. Okay, cool. Thanks. Here's your SIM. They're designed for that.
Right.
But banks are using it as a second factor of authentication. So when PSD2 came out, it said the only way that you can do, PSD1 came out and allowed us transfer money to each other. PSD2 has come out and said, this is how to do it more securely. These are the new rules. So everyone's had to comply with PSD2. Everyone's had to put in two-factor authentication. But this technology only works in the US, Ireland, and England at the moment, and is being rolled out elsewhere. So everywhere else has card readers, like something as big as your phone that you stick a card in and you plug it in and you wait for a code. You know, they'll all be gone in 2 years.
Wow.
Thankfully. But that's the industry. It's a fast-paced moving industry. So it's good fun.
Yeah,
I have to say too, just from like getting your phone taken, like you mentioned that, and you know, is one of the most violating feelings that can happen to you online. I mean, it's so scary. Yes. So yeah, I mean, there's plenty more violating things that can happen, but knowing someone took over your phone and then, you know, maybe got into your emails or something, or you know, hacked you. So, you know, I commend you for protecting people there, because it feels horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting to the end, I suppose, of this. Just before we move on, Gavin, like if you think about the majority of the audience here, you know, working as managed service providers, helping small to medium businesses, what in this space, like what's the one thing, or one message that you know, MSPs can deliver to small to medium business to help prevent it, to be aware of it, to, you know, it feels like it should be part of the narrative. You know, everything, as you said, Jimmy, lives on the phone. You know, what do you think, Gavin, might be the one thing that people should be looking at?
So when this type of thing happens, it works in tiers. So banks have to do it for legislation,
right?
Whereas SMEs don't. Obviously, it would be a choice. So if you didn't want your people's phones to be thing, to be accessed by others, and board members of Microsoft or board members of specific companies, and you wanted to protect them. I could see those companies adopting this tech in the next 12 to 18 months.
Okay.
But I don't see it for SMEs for a lot longer. So
Right.
the job that you guys could do very quickly and easily, and again, we could help by putting a one-pager together, is how would you know your phone is being hacked? So James got it straight away. James like, oh crap, this could be that thing that I know about. But like, so education, I guess, is the nicest thing. It's the easiest thing. It costs nothing to do. It shows you as experts, and you can send out in your next monthly newsletter or your quarterly report, and it says there has been an increase in this. It affects you as an individual, but could have a negative impact on your ISO, or, if you've ISO 27001 and you don't maintain security on BYODs or on devices, that could be considered a risk, couldn't it, I guess? So there's an element there where you can say, if a SIM swap happens, your phone won't work. When you contact the operator, you need to ask, has there been any recent transactions or instructions from me as an individual? All these things will speed up the process.
Yeah.
I would be 99% sure that the person who took James's phone knew that he was going to be on a flight at that time.
Wow.
Because the only value to them is James not knowing.
Yes.
So when a SIM swap happens, the first thing you do is you contact your bank and say, hey, I forgot my passwords. Can you send me my passwords? My favorite color is blue, and here's my address. And they'll say, sure. But hey, we don't trust that this might not be you. So we're going to send you something directly to your phone. And the fraudster says, that's fine. That's okay. He can get a password, reset his password, add himself as a new payee. And what does the bank do? They say, hey, just in case this isn't you, we're going to send you something to your phone. So now you've added a payee, you've made a transaction, they get you to authorize that through your phone, and then you make the thing. So unless you're aware that your phone is at risk, really, your handset is open to your bank account. It's your bank card and your PIN all in one. So that's why all the major Irish banks in the country have adopted this tech in the UK and the US, and why it will roll out to all the other countries in Europe.
It's like looking into the future, Gavin. It is definitely a merchant space. Gavin, look, thank you very much for jumping on. I see Rick, Paddy, John, David. Great to see everyone on the line. Any Chris, Rosemary as well. Any questions? All good. Rick, what are you at the weekend? No, mute there, Rick. There we are. Now.
I think you're muted again.
It's a secret.
There we are.
I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you, right? No, it's been a long week, and just gonna try and recover.
Good. Well, it's not a great thing to do, and hopefully you can have a peaceful weekend. Gavin, thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Always a pleasure. There was other stuff that we wanted to definitely jump into, because I know you guys are do a lot of work on wellness, and as you just said, Rick, taking a break, but maybe for another day. These little check-ins are typically about 10 minutes long, Gavin, so we're well over, but it was always it's an absolute pleasure, and wish you a great weekend and everyone on the call, and we'll see you next week. Oh, by the way, Jimmy is going to say it now, Jimmy, because it'll be out, Jimmy, so we're at the end of like 6 months of doing this. We started it because COVID was, like you just said, Rick, everyone was sort of living in Zoom and wanted a break in the day. We thought it was nice. I really enjoy doing them. It's just, a chat. But, we don't stand still, and Jimmy doesn't stand still, and Jared. So they're taking it to the next level now over the next few weeks. I'm really, really excited to see what's going to happen, and it'll be a bit of fun. So for those on the line, I hope to see everyone again next week, and we'll see where we go. Have a good one. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, everyone.